All right, testing. I think we are rolling. Let me know if you guys can't hear me or if anything gets fuzzy. But I think we're looking good. Let me center a couple things up. And then we're gonna jump right back into it. All right, let's make sure that is there. I think that's okay. Awesome. All right. Well, yeah, let's get going. Another early one today. I'm gonna try to do a little earlier than usual most days. But yeah, we're gonna continue working on Flashcardia. All right, it's our new game. It's gonna be kind of like a gamified way to study flashcards. It's gonna primarily be a mobile type of game. We are also gonna have a PC version, but it's gonna be like a premium version. But yeah, let's jump right into it. So I think what we decided on what we're gonna do from yesterday is we're gonna start with the cards page. We already have a couple things for all the settings. I did adjust a bunch of stuff here as well. Well, what's up, Silent? How you doing? I'm early or late? No, you're early. I just started. But yeah, we're going to be going for a couple hours. Yeah, we're working on some fun stuff. Hope you're having a good day. But yeah, let's see. So, yep, we worked on this. We changed the UI. Now, I don't really know if I love how it's like looking like this. I think it still looks better than the gray ones we had. But overall, though, you know, couple 3-4 hour stream. I wish we could do it like that. I think I'm gonna aim for at least 2 hours, but maybe we'll do more if it gets crazy. All right. I have to go for a run today later, and I don't want it to be too late. But yeah, we're looking good there. So we have this here. We're gonna work on the actual card part. I know a lot of this isn't even working on the actual games. We have so much going on because we have to, I want all this stuff to be set up at least. And again, we can always adjust this down the road, but overall, we're just gonna be able to select our sets, customize cards, and then do some pre-made cards. So I think the one we have to start with is actually gonna be the custom cards one, I think. And we need to think about how we're going to do that because we're going to do it kind of in a way where I think you can make it's going to be easier for them to make because if we just have like a big list of cards to make, that's going to be kind of confusing. So we're going to need subcategories, I think. And I don't think we'll be able to put categories inside of categories. I think we'll just kind of have like, would you like to add this set to a category set or whatever? So if we do it like that, I think it's going to be the easiest overall. But yeah, I think we're going to start with the custom cards. And then once we do that, we'll do the pre-made cards, which should be pretty easy considering it's going to be pretty much the same thing, except we can't edit them. And then we'll have the selected sets as well. But yeah, let's start with the custom cards, okay? So this is going to be kind of like the base UI of how we have things. Primarily though, I don't like having back buttons on the bottom. I think what we're going to do is we're going to adjust how this is like outlaid. Flashcardia, now I can gain 200 pounds in a game and eat merc. What? Are you gonna make the alternative version of Flashcardia? You should do that and call it Flashcardia. That'd be kind of funny. That reminds me of like the Wreck-It Ralph scene where the bunny is eating all the pancakes and then blows up. That'd be crazy. Yeah. But anyway, all right, so we have this page. So we're gonna have multiple pages. We have the selection page, which is this one currently. I think we're also gonna have cards in there because I don't wanna have subcategory types. So let's take the label and put that in there as well. All right. And then we're gonna adjust it a bit. So we have cards up there. Oh, make sure though that's inside of that. So we're gonna be able to switch between pages, okay? So we need another page here. Let's do a node 2D. And we're gonna do this one as, let's see, custom cards. So the first page of custom cards, and I think we should just have each one have a subcategory. So we'll do custom cards for this one. Custom cards. This is a lot of UI in the beginning, but I feel like once we get this done, it's gonna be pretty easy to do the other ones. So custom cards, and we're gonna have multiple pages, okay? So for custom cards, I think what we'll do, now we can do this one or two ways. We can do it where basically we are gonna have kind of like a scrolling thing. I'm not really big on scrolling stuff. It's kind of complicated to make in Godot correctly. It gets kind of like messed up. But I feel like if we don't do it with scrolling ability, we're gonna have a tough time. So we're gonna have our custom cards page. So once you select custom cards, it takes us to the custom cards page. I think we're gonna need a back button on the top left and then the name of the page we're at on the top. Again, we can always change this if we don't like it. Since it's gonna be a kind of like a sub node of it, we'll leave it as is. We're gonna call this one. We're gonna call the first one. We could do it as search, I guess, because we're gonna have two types of searching, I think. We're gonna have kind of like the default one where it just has all of them in like alphabetical order, or maybe time and date. And then we're also gonna have a bunch for, what are we gonna have? We're gonna have some for searching, because I feel like these are gonna get pretty big. And we can reuse the same mechanism for the custom one. So I think we should have two types of searching. We're gonna have value searching, and then we're gonna have title searching, if that makes sense. So that's gonna be the type of searching we can have. We're also then gonna have a default. I think we'll have a default where it just kind of scrolls down, I guess. So yeah, it's gonna be a little complicated to figure this out. But we need, I think we'll just call this default page. Default page, okay? For default page, we need the title on default page. And actually, we probably should have this in the main one there and keep it for the title. And then we're gonna call this custom cards. Now my worry with this is I want the back button in the top left corner. Now we can't do that because the text is too big. So we're gonna have to shrink the text for these titles, because these are gonna be like subtitles, if that makes sense. I just don't think that'll look very good if we do it like this and have a back button in the corner. I think it's gonna look a little odd, if that makes sense. But we can always try it and change it if we don't like it. So we're making that unique. And what we're gonna do is shrink it a bit. So we could go ahead and let's just shrink it just a little bit. We could do like 90 maybe. We're gonna make it significantly smaller. So we have 90, let's do 75. That's okay, I just think that's gonna be hard to read. Custom cards, it's gonna be one of the bigger ones. And then we need back in the corner. I think back will still fit with that there, that's okay. So let's take one of our buttons we have, specifically the back button. And we're gonna take that, put that in default page, I guess, technically. Yeah, that's okay. And we're gonna adjust it a little bit. My one worry is the text in these is gonna be the same size. What is the label text size in these? It's 80, okay, so we did 75. So we're probably gonna need to make this, we're probably gonna need to make the title 80 as well for it to match correctly. So that is, no, it's also 80. We'll see how that looks, because my guess is this isn't gonna fit in the corner. And I don't wanna make the button itself like extremely bigger, so we could maybe make the back button a little smaller, because I kind of like how this looks. We just need to fit the back button in the corner. So we need to reset its signal though. So button back. And what we're gonna do is select button back. And we need to adjust it entirely, because again, we can't fit that where we want it. So we need to kind of make it as small as we can that doesn't make it look ridiculous. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that. See what I mean? That's still not gonna fit there. We need to either shrink this entirely, which I think we're gonna do that. We're gonna go and shrink it. Let's shrink it to, let's see. Let's do transform. This might mess it up though. That's what I'm worried about. 0.8. Because again, we don't want it to be looking, we could go smaller. Again, this is gonna be a tiny button. Like if you're using your phone, I feel like that's a little ridiculous already. That's pretty much too small. So what if we do 9? Okay, that's okay. I don't hate that. But then for this though, we're gonna need to shrink it. Starting off with this one. Let's shrink that to 50. Way too small. 60. It's okay. Let's shrink this to 60 as well. Again, that's okay, but I think it's kind of sloppy still. I think the button itself needs to shrink more. I don't like how small that is. So, okay, if we do, let's do 70. That's okay. I'm okay with that. But I'm not okay with this. Like, that just looks bad to me. I don't like that. So we need to keep it at least on the same level of it. But what we probably got to do is we got to shrink the button size itself. I just want to match it with the other one. I think that's okay. Okay, that looks okay. For now, that's okay. I don't hate that, you know. Okay, so we have that there. Good, custom cards back. Okay. That's okay. Like, we're gonna need to mess with it eventually, but for now, it's all right. That's it. Okay, all right, so we have the back button, perfect. So that's gonna be the layout for that. Now for this one, this is our custom cards. So we should by default be able to select the ones we want, if that makes sense. Now this is a pain because I've done this before, but it's kind of hard. So we need to basically find a way to scroll through all of the ones we want selected without extending this to this. And there's a couple ways we can do it. I don't remember exactly how we do it. I think we do like containers or something. Now, it's either we do a scroll bar or we do selectors with pages. My worry with that is usually it's going to be harder to auto-populate because I think we're going to have probably 100 sets you can have, and then for each set you can have 100 cards in each one. And again, we can either do that for like I don't know, clicking ones, or we can like scroll up and down. Scrolling is kind of a pain, I think, because in this type of game and just in general when you're searching things, I think it gets kind of annoying. But what we could do is I think we'll have searches, and we're gonna have a search bar. So the search bar will be able to put what it thinks you're looking for, and we're gonna make it smart enough to know based on the inputs. So we'll have like, I'm gonna have one search bar here, and we're basically gonna have two filters. We're gonna have a filter for contents, and then we're gonna have a filter for titles. So it'll basically either one, search through the sets, finding the one, or it's gonna search for the title of it. To be honest, we don't need that technically. Like the content thing I think will be nice for the other one where we're looking for them, because we're gonna have so many that it'll be nice to be like, oh, do I want to find like certain history study things or whatever. So I think with that it'll be useful, so we might as well implement it here. So we're gonna have like a toggle switch, I think, on the right side, where basically, like I said, it's gonna like be able to understand what you're looking for. So we need a search bar, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So default page needs a search bar. Okay. Which I think is called an input. I haven't used this. I think it's called an input. No, I don't think it's... It might be that. Abstract base class for everything in 2D space. No. Text. I think it's called a text input. No. I'm gonna need to look it up, I think. Let me look it up. All right, we need a node. We need a node for a search bar. I don't think it's called search bar. I think there's another name. So I think it's called line edit. Isn't that what we kind of said before? I guess that's okay. Again, we want to have toggle buttons. And it's either we're going to put them below it or next to it. I have a feeling we're going to need to put it below it. That might be the best way to go. How do we do that? Okay. We need to have... I wish we could use label text for this. Oh, there's a lot that goes in here. Okay. Max length is infinite. Oh, I don't know. We should do like 100 characters. Alignment. What could we do for that? All right, what we could do, text. Placeholder text. Click. Search. One, two, three. All right. Way too small. How do we go? How do we adjust the text for this? There's gotta be a way we can do this. what if we needed to do this, but I need it to be way bigger. How do we do that? Why is it so tiny? There's no way we can. I bet there's a way we can do this. Okay, what if? No. Alright, what do we do? Silent, not Merc. Draw carrot. Secret. More fools. The Merc. How do we make this grow? Override the font for one node quick set. Oh. I guess that's how. Alright, what are we doing? We need... I don't think it's in here. Fonts. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's weird. That's new. So we could do 16 by 16. I'm gonna go like 8. Way too big. Alright. 60. No, it's still too big. That looks okay. Okay, search. Sets our cards here. Nice sign, yeah. Pink Fool 1. Did they not have regular Pink Fool? It probably was another fool who got me the sign. Search sets here. How do I add that there? I'm worried that if I like put a bunch of text in here, it's gonna like go crazy. But do the cats like the sign? S'mores will sometimes hang out behind the sign. She was doing that last night. How's it going, Mob? How you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Alright, blah, 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 blah. Because I want to make sure... See, that's what I mean. I don't think it's going to show it, and that's what I don't want. I want it to basically move it with it, if that makes sense. Editable. Keep editing on TextSmith. No. Is this it? That's wrong. I don't want it to expand, but I also want it to... Hold on, let me see what this does. Okay. Well, what if I keep typing? Okay, it does do it the way I want it. That's good. Okay. Alright, boop. Search sets here. What's going on, Mob? The emoji's going crazy. I should set up something where it shoots the emojis actually in the screen, because I think that's one thing I don't like is how it only shows me it, but it should show the whole screen. Anytime people hit the emoji button, I should like have little emojis like go crazy on the screen. That'd be really funny. Okay, so that works good. That looks okay. What do we need? We need a search. We need a border, pretty much. Ooh, you know what we need is we need the switches to do it, if that makes sense. We're gonna need a couple of these things. Hold on. Hold on, is that gonna work? Does that look okay? It needs to go in a little bit more on this side. Okay, how does that look? I think it looks pretty good. We'll adjust that later. I just want a border because we're going to be able to scroll through the sets below, I think. And then we need buttons. We need a button for searching titles, and then we need a button for searching contents, if that makes sense. So what we'll do is we'll do another button. We'll call this button contents. And these ones are going to be a little bigger. Does titles have an apostrophe? I don't remember. All right. And then, perfect. And we're going to rename that titles. Same thing there. Okay, we have titles. And then we need the other one, which is going to be contents. All right. Contents. You know what we could do is actually, I don't need to have a switch. What we could do instead is I think what we'll do is you search it. So like you'll type in the info you want to search for, and then you just click it and it'll make the ones pop up below. I think that's actually gonna work really well. Yeah, and that saves me time too, because again, I want this all to be like super simple to use and quick to use. I don't want it to be like super complicated where you're just messing with stuff a bunch. But I think this will work really good. Nice. Okay, so basically you'll be able to type in like, I don't know, math, history, science, whatever, or whatever you named it. Or you'll just use the default. You know what I mean? Problem is with that, I think a lot of people are gonna get, like, to be honest, I think what we could do for like going back, let's say someone searches something, right? We could either have a third button that says reset, or we could have just keep it as is. Like, I don't know. Do we want to reset the ability to search, or do we just want to have like people are smart enough to hit back or nothing? I don't think people are going to be smart enough to hit the nothing button, so I think we got to have a reset button. But that being said though, we have like a bunch of stuff, and that's where I'm kind of worried, because if we have 3 buttons there, that's a lot of buttons already. So it's either we have a reset button, or because I don't want people thinking they can reset their cards, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Well, the only other thing is we can make a new card. To be fair, for making a new card, we either have to have like new button, or I don't know, like this is kind of giving me search vibes. Like for the one where we're going to be searching existing sets, it's like that's the one that I think is going to happen. But I think what we'll be able to do though is we're going to have empties for each one. So they could scroll to an empty one to add a new one, but that's kind of annoying. So I think we are going to need to have 3 here. So of titles, I know we could have a third button that says create or something, or new, add set. I just like how this looks. I really like how this looks. I think this is kind of nice. Okay, I just don't want to add more junk to this. Huh. Because again, we're either going to have the ability to make more cards, but these are all of our custom sets, so we can go through. I think we'll leave it as is. If people get mad at this, then what we can do is adjust it, but I think this will be okay. Because I think what we'll do is we'll have empties for the empty ones. And again, we're going to have a max of like 100, if that makes sense. I think. I think we'll do that. Okay. What else could we do here? We need to start outputting the ones we have. And how we're going to do that is, I don't want to use a scroll bar. We could use a scrolling system. Problem is with scrolling, I feel like people will get confused with that if they have a bunch of cards. So it's either we do the scrolling system to leave it all in one, or we have a page flipping system. And I kind of have a feeling that the page flipping system is going to be more complicated than the scrolling one, if that makes sense. Yeah. So, how do we do that? Yeah, I'm trying to think, because it's like if we scroll through cards, my worry with that is if they have a lot, it's going to be very hard for them to find it, because if ever the search bar breaks, then they're going to be very mad. But if we do the other one, we could flip it, if that makes sense. But even that seems difficult, because then we're going to have like, I don't know, I kind of like the idea of the scroll bar just because it'll auto scroll. You can just like scroll through the sets you want. Because man, you're going to have a lot of cards. You're going to have 100 cards. And that's a lot. That's a lot to like skip through. But scrolling through might be a lot easier for that. And then what we'll do is we'll auto clean it up basically. All right, let's do the scroll bar. That seems like the way. Scroll bars are pain, though, in here. Well, we'll start with a node 2D. Okay, scroll. Scrolling page. So I have a scrolling page. And then, all right. I need, okay, nodes. We're gonna have to make an instance that basically generates for everything. Okay, I think I know how we'll do it. Yeah, there's a bunch of nodes for that, but it's kind of confusing how they do it though. So you have to like contain it. So basically you start off, I think, I'm like looking at it right now how to do it. I've done it before a long time ago. I think it was a scroll container. I think. Scroll container. And then I think inside of the scroll container, you have to put a VBox container. VBox container. And this is where it gets annoying. Because it's not visual, that's why it's annoying. And then holds all your page elements vertically. Okay, so for instance, what we want to do, let's just call this a page. Page 1. Okay, we're going to do page 1. Page 1 is just going to be like a box. But this is the problem. See how it does this? It like cuts it off. So we need to like put this in the correct position. But see how the box is that big? And I think that's because of this. There's something weird about this. I think... Okay, see how that goes like that? So this is going to be the main box size of it, I think. Which I want to be about that big. Because we don't want it to pass this blue line up here. It's going to be kind of like the border, the starting border. And then we want it to have a little bit of room. And I also don't want it to go all the way down. Well, I guess if we don't go all the way down, it's going to look kind of silly. So with that, we should be okay. All right, so now the problem is the VBox container. I don't know how to actually scroll. So we can scroll it with, there's an actual bar I think we can add to it. So I'm pretty sure we take this and we just duplicate it. Because that's the whole point of it. It's just so it makes it like invisible. Cool. Okay, now I don't know how this works though when we get into it, if that makes sense. What's the color rec for? This is just a visual so I can make sure the scrolling is working. So the color rect is just a visual block for now before I make the actual like card itself. Because these are like the card sets. I just want to make sure I can scroll it, which I can't. Because I think we didn't add a scroll bar. So that's not scrolling. And I'm pretty sure there's a reason for that. Okay. All right. control scroll bars. Optional. In scroll container, we need to select something. What is this? Is this the scroll bar? There should be an auto scroll bar that gets added somewhere here. I just remembered. Okay. We want to set these disabled, I think. We want to move it horizontal scroll. I always get this confused. Vertical. We want to set this off. Problem is I don't know how to move it though. Do you not add a scroll bar node? I think there's an auto one that actually, or it used to have an auto one that added it, but then there is you can also add one, but I probably will add one. I want to know where it is though. I think we just need to add a scroll bar. Well, I don't know if we need to add one. I think it should auto add like a basic one. But it is. Ugh, this isn't mine. Okay, maybe because I set that to disabled. Hold on. Can't see this thing. There, is it there? No. Because the contents are farther than it. You know what I mean? But it's still not liking it. Alright, what are we doing? Oh, this is lovely. Okay. Vertical, there's an auto show always. We need to set this thing. There should be like a... We need to auto show it, I think. Vertical scroll. Always show. Oh. Hold on. Maybe this will make it work. See, there it is. But it thinks that the contents are completely filling it. So it doesn't think that the contents... You know what it is, actually? I know what it is. I think it's because of this. No, that doesn't make sense. Because it thinks it's full, but clearly we have nodes going beyond it, so something's not registering correctly. Because we need a box. So we're mixing something up here. You don't need to add you can add a custom scroll bar. I don't think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm just gonna have the default one because it's just a grayed out one. But yeah. Let's see, okay. I did something wrong. Configure size. There's a setting we're missing. That's fine. Like this is the little scroll bar. We need, I want it to be a little bit, go scroll horizontal. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong one. No. I want to get rid of that one. I don't really care about that one. Vertical scroll mode disabled. Nope. Okay, so it is vertical. We need to get rid of the horizontal. But it's also tiny. I don't like how tiny it is. Also, why? Huh. Okay. let's see how this works. Huh. The V-box container, yeah. Control, layout, container sizing. Control, layout, container sizing. Maybe this is the problem. Let's try. Nope. So it still thinks it's maxed out, but we definitely have items below. It just refuses to acknowledge those. Weird. Okay. Expand is turned off. That's turned off as well. That's okay. Something's wrong. We have page items below. Set to shrink begin. Hold on. Shrink to begin? Where is that even set? Shrink to begin. What is the point of this? I don't think that's right. Okay. Is it because we don't have these as controls, maybe? That might be the case. Hold on. No, that doesn't make sense. Well, fixed boundary needs to match. We'll try it one more time. No. I've done this before. I'm just trying to remember how to do this exactly. Hey aliens, how you doing? I know, earlier, every day. Hope you're having a good day. We're just getting some work done. Don't have it on fill. Yeah, well now it's not on fill. But there's something, I think it's because these aren't controls, maybe? But that doesn't make sense to me, because I think I've done this before when they're not controls. Like, we can get rid of this and try it without control. We can try them when they're controls. I would be kind of shocked, though, if that's the issue. That would be very surprising if that's the issue. It might be, I don't know. I would be surprised. I can't move that. Children of container get their position. Oh. Okay, so what gives? Huh. Nothing. Weird. So now I can't move them. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, So I can't move this because of this. I forget, there's an easy way to do this, and I'm totally not doing it the easy way. I just can't remember how to do it. So what am I doing wrong here? Oh. Alright, what if we... It's because they're not controls, then Godot some work to do. Low. Yeah, I think I knows that, but I think it's weird because I think I'm used to do it the other way, so... Because there's a way you can do this. Okay. Oh, you know what? Maybe it's because... That doesn't make sense. Oh, I think I know why. Okay. So, what if we... Well, it doesn't think it has any, like... So what is the extent of this? See what I mean? This is so silly. What are we doing? There we go. Okay, there we go. Good, now it thinks it's the right size. But I also want... Okay. We need to center this up. This looks ridiculous. Nope, position's fine. Here we go. Okay. Now, what we're gonna do is put it in here. See, this should auto move it. That's the problem. Is we are still... It still thinks it's taking up 1. We need to go to which one? Okay. Are we changing size or are we changing positions? No, not that. Oh, I haven't done this in so long. Something is silly. Expand is off. Set to expand and fill. Now, horizontal. Okay. Yeah. Alright. There is totally an easier way to do this. Okay, vertical. Expand Godot. Set fixed bounds on scroll bar. Set fixed bounds. Okay, fix individual items root cause. Does this for each item inside the list. Item C root. Select blah 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 blah. We already did that. If item has a height, it doesn't have. We know it. We just set that they all don't have 0 anymore. Configure VBox container flags. Okay. So this guy. Container flags. Okay. Expand is off. We got that. Expand is off. Okay. Set expand horizontal. Well, horizontal. For vertical is off. So vertical's off. What? Inspector control layout container setting. Container setting. No, this one needs to be off. Well, what is that one supposed to be if we can't set it off? It doesn't really matter, technically. No. Set, expand, and fill. We need it, I think it has to do with the actual container itself. Select the top scroll bar. Go to inspector control, custom minimum sizing. Okay, control, layout, custom minimum size. 300, 400. That's wrong. It's still not positioning. Because it should auto do it. That's the thing that's weird. It should auto. It's because it doesn't think. Come on. You know what? I don't think it likes... No, it's just a plain control. It's a plain control. Maybe it's because I didn't... Hold on. Let's just start in the beginning. And then we're going to do this. It did move it. Okay. It moved it a tiny bit. I guess it didn't like the original layout we had. That's annoying. Okay, but that's clearly like not more separation. So how do we adjust their separation? Well, we don't care about the X, we care about the Y. No. There is a way we can do this, I just don't. We're getting there. I know we have one pixel down, so, but I had to restart it, so I'm still doing something wrong. So what is the problem? I'm trying to like custom minimum. I'm just wondering the minimum height of your items. Okay. If your item's scene has no height, Godot thinks it's small as possible. Item scene. Control layout, custom minimum size. Control layout, custom minimum size. Okay, what if we do like 20? There we go. That's so silly. But now is it just making it like really tall? There we go. Finally. Okay. We kind of figured it out. Which one am I customizing? Is it this one? Okay, we'll get rid of that one. Okay, also, so this needs to match. These aren't going to be too big. I think we're just going to have... Yeah. We'll figure that out later. Alright, so we have to set the custom minimum sizing to actually make it work. That's so silly. Okay. So if I duplicate this... So we still need more sizing. Because I thought I wish it would just let me do it. I don't know why it has such a hard time. Okay, 120. So there we go. We can actually see what it is, but I want to add spacing because if we don't do that, it's going to be kind of sloppy. Perfect. See, that's what I wanted. Look at that. That looks good. Okay. All right, we're looking good there. Kind of. Yeah, I knew it was something silly, but it works now. Now I want to make the actual scroll bar a lot bigger and maybe more colorful. Good, okay. I think we can actually drag and drop a scroll bar into here. Alright, in the inspector, beam overrides, constants. Okay. No. Huh. Also being silly here. No. Okay, I want this to be thicker. It's way too thin. Okay. Okay, select your scroll bar, scroll container node. In the inspector on the right, theme overrides constants. Theme overrides. We did that. Constants, okay. What am I doing? It's this guy. But I still think that's going to look ridiculous. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. It's not actually changing it though. Is that even better? think it's yeah, we have no scroll bar. I think we can do a custom one. Why don't we just use a custom one? Isn't there a node for this? How do we set it to use it? Select the scroll container in the inspector. Vertical scroll to disable. Okay. Okay. Now, how do we do that? Okay. Now, why is it not auto-selecting it? That's what's weird. How does it do that? Because now, it doesn't know that. I think we have to make it work with a script. I don't think it's going to let me do that. It should just automatically. That's what's silly about this. Is if I put this in here, that should work for that. But it's not going to let me do that. That's silly. What? I did that. Never shows. Connect. Custom scroll bar. Scroll container. I did that. What? Wait, value changed. Yes. Double click the value changed value signal. What? What? I don't think this will work. Yeah, that's what I figured. Target method. There's no script. That's what I'm. What am I missing? We'll just use the code. This is silly. Weird. Okay. Okay. I don't think this is gonna work though. I'll be shocked if this works. It might work. Okay. All right. Well, we could do that. You kidding me? Let's see how that looks. It's okay. I don't really like the green. We're gonna make these like not too close to this though. This is just kind of like, to be fair, we could put this completely on that side. I just kind of want to keep it in. We're just gonna have it like inside of it, but we won't have it touching it once we make it. I don't like the green though. I don't know why it is green. I like that blue. I don't like how it matches that. That's bothering me. I think we're gonna adjust that to not connect. No, that's just another script I have. It's pretty simple though. It just connects the bar to it. Because I think there is another way you can do it, but I'm pretty sure that there's like, I think if you put it inside of it with a controller, it should auto do it, but for some reason for me, it's not working. But this just does pretty simple stuff, just on ready. It basically just tells the node to use it, if that makes sense. Like you're telling the scroll container to use the V scroll bar as its vertical scroll bar. But pretty simple. I'll probably teach this in my new advanced course just because it is kind of complicated, but super simple script. But I'm more worried about the bar. I want it to be round, I think. Like, it's okay to keep it like this. I just don't want it to be the same color. It's too blue. Like, it's okay. We're gonna have 100 of these technically. All right. Ooh. Yeah. Oh, what's up, Xavier? I didn't even see you there. How you doing? Hope you're doing good. I like your little icon. All right, that looks okay for me. I'm okay with that. Good. All right, now we need to get to the actual like buttons we want to use with this. And again, I might just keep the same title ones. I think that would be pretty cool. Ugh. So let's go ahead and try this out. All right, we need to make these things into its own. So where are we? Where did we go? Default page. Scrolling page. Here we go. Okay, we're gonna get rid of like all of these. And then we're gonna start making this into what we need for it. Okay. So this is going to be our card. And I think we're going to have a couple things here. First off is we're going to give it, you know what? We need to do the same thing we did before. Yeah. I want to make this the same size. And then we need to add Let's see. We need to add the image we want to use, which I think is this one. No. We need a 9 rectangle. There we go. Alright, perfect. Then we need to add the region. Wow, I cannot see this. Okay, hold on. Theme. I forgot we did this. Yeah, theme. No. Texture, that's what it was. Perfect, okay. And then what we did to fix this annoying issue is we grew the whole thing. So we can do that, it's just a pain. But what we need to do is we need to add there, and there. This is the best way to make your UI buttons with the 9 patch. Just gotta make sure you scale it correctly. Because again, the only thing we want to expand is the middle part, not these corners. With that, it will scale correctly. Problem is, if you get this like weird, what do you call this? Like, it's like a weird look of it like this, where these pixels are just tiny, and I think that looks really bad. So I like to make that a little bit more bold. And how you can do that is you actually just go into the buttons itself and crease it. So like, for instance, I have this. We changed all of these to be a little bigger. I think we did like, yeah, we did 1.2 for the scale of these. So I'm gonna do that also for this. We're gonna take that layout. We're gonna go to transform and we're gonna go ahead. What are you working on now? This is gonna be the actual buttons. So like, for instance, like we have custom cards page, right? So we're gonna be able to search through our custom cards for the title or for the contents. And then now we need to be able to select through them. Now we're gonna have, I think by default, 100 cards you can edit, change, delete, reset, whatever. So we're gonna make this look a lot prettier because this looks pretty bad. I think we need to make it just match the rest of the theme. And what we'll do, instead of just copying and pasting and putting this a million times down, we can do it that way, but what I'm gonna do is when the game loads in, it's gonna kind of create all those, and then we can go ahead into them and edit them and all that fun stuff. So right now we're just gonna create how it looks, just a little nicer. So we'll go to scale, 1.2, and then we're gonna shrink this to be the same size as the one we want, which we know is gonna be about that big there, and that big there. Now, again, we could make this a little bigger if we want. I might do that because I like that bold rim. So I might even do it to 5 and then just keep adjusting it. Perfect. So then if we do that and we go back here, you're gonna see that's gonna be the card. Now, one thing I don't like, and you just probably noticed it also, is it's way too scrunched. So what I think we'll do, one is get rid of the black part in the background. We know that we have the right size. We want to have a little bit of space, and we can either do that by moving the whole thing down a little bit, which I think actually might be the best option. So if we just go ahead and take, I think, the entire scroll bar, just move it down a little bit and just go like that. It's really up to you how you want to do it, but I think that looks pretty good. Awesome. All right. I just want it to be the same distance of like that and there, if that makes sense. So it just looks a little better to look at, I think. And again, we can always adjust this down the road, but I think that looks pretty good. Perfect. Now, again, I might shrink it a little bit because I don't like how it rubs on that. I'm okay with that there, but I think we can go down a little bit here. So let's do that. We're going to take that same thing. We're just going to go down a bit there. And with that, we're going to have our card sets. Nice. So see, looks pretty good there. If we want to center it up, we can. That is debatable. I think we could do that, actually. We'll see how that looks. Just to keep it looking nice. Yeah, like that looks pretty good to me. And these will be our cards, right? So our cards are going to have a couple things on them. I think realistically what we're going to do is we're going to be able to edit them as we go inside of them. So for instance, I think what we'll do is we'll have just the title on them, if that makes sense. And then we'll have the ability to set them, or we can either unset them or set them. So like meaning when we want to play our game, we're going to have, we can have up to 3 cards selected to loop through while we're playing. So I think we're going to just have the title, and it can be about this many characters long or whatever. And then we're going to have a button for selecting and deselecting, if that makes sense. And we can also deselect from the other one as well. But I think that's okay. I like it. Okay, this will be page 1. So we don't need this anymore. We do, though, need our label. Again, we're going to get a better font for this, but I think this is okay. I think we're going to use the blue, actually. We want to make it be kind of the same, we can do that. Tiles. 60 and 3. And there's like a weird glitch with this, but it always like moves it down too much. So to make our lives easier, we'll do that. Okay. And then we need 2 more buttons on here. We need a button for setting it, and then we need a button for unsetting. So we can do set and then remove. Well, all right, we could do set. We need 2 button names. We could do set button, but I want to keep it short. So I say we have one button, and then we can change the name of the button. Like the button will be visible or not visible based on if it's set or not. So let's do that. It'll be pretty big too. We're not gonna make it massive. And what I think I'll actually do is once it is, I'll make it green in the inside. So basically it'll say like set or not set once it actually does it. Actually, we could just use an icon for that for now. I think I have one. For like green and we could do a green one or red one. Yeah, we have green for set. And it's okay if the green, well, actually we could just use the pure green one. The better green one? That's okay. There we go. But does that not look like it's like weirdly shaped? I don't know. I guess it's fine. I just thought there's another one. Oh, because we didn't have flat, that's why. Okay, that's better. Okay. Then what we'll do is go there. Go there. Go there. Can't go there. That's okay. And this, I'm gonna just make white. We're also gonna get rid of the outline. We don't need that. The font is too big. We'll also center it up. Again, it always does that. It looks very strange. We'll do set. All right, and then is unset like that, or is it just one word? I think it's one word. Okay. That's okay. But this one will most likely always be default off. We do though need the button. I didn't even add the button to it. Always important to make your buttons have unique names. Button set. Because the signal usually takes the name, that's why you want to do that. Unset. Sweet, so there we go. So basically you'll be able to scroll through them all, and then you can actually go ahead and kind of pick them out. Nice. Oh, we never actually added the actual button to the page. We also need that. There we go. Nope, nope, nope. Cool. All right. So there we go. That looks a lot better, I think. Perfect. That looks really good. All right. Look at that. That look good? Nice. Okay. Woo! All right. I think it looks pretty good. That's kind of like, I think we might do a glossier theme eventually, but for now this is okay. I think it's looking good. Where are we at? We're almost there. All right. So we have this now. So I'm okay with how it looks. I think it'll be okay for now. What do we got to do now? Titles, contents. Huh. I feel like we're missing something. What is this? Oh, this is part of this page. That's the page before. Okay. That's kind of silly we did that. Select page? Oh, that's like the page for, yeah, the page before we get to this page. Okay, so we have this, custom cards. All right, what do we need now? We need a script to populate a bunch of these. And then we need a way to edit them. We need a way to set them. Well, we have a way to set them. We need a way to edit them. Then we need a way to reset them, like reset them in general. We need a way to add new cards, edit existing cards. There's a lot we got to do here. Whew. But once we do this one, though, this is the hardest one. So once we do this, we're pretty much good for the other stuff, I think. We'll implement the settings and stuff eventually, but I just want to get the core components of the game working, and then we'll kind of figure it out. Okay. So I want to get a script to get this rolling first, because I feel like if we don't, it's going to be kind of annoying. Okay. So how are we going to manage this? We're going to manage it in this page. So I don't think it's actually going to be as hard as it sounds. Because again, we really just need to export them, if that makes sense. What's up, Supersonic Dime? How you doing? Yo, you said you were going live at 5 p.m. That was yesterday. Not today. Today I was live at... I think I need to start putting the times in for the announcements. But yesterday I said I was at 5 p.m., but it actually was probably 6 p.m. But no, I was able to do it a little earlier today, so, you know. But I hope you're having a good day. We're just continuing our work here. We got a pretty good amount going though. We got our page looking a little better. We just need a script now to implement 100 of these. But we also need them to set correctly. But I think what we'll do is we're going to create a script on top of these things, which will have the actual number attached to them. So for page 1, we'll call this custom pages. Again, this will be in the UI menu. Okay. And what we'll do for this is just add our export value. Number. I don't actually think we should do number. I think we should do name. Because remember, this is going to be able to search, so it's not valuable to go by specifically the page number output. It's going to be better to go by the name. And the default name will just be numbers, I guess. Page name. That's going to be a string. We'll just say something as empty for now. And then to make sure we know what the name is, we're going to do... I'm actually surprised I streamed today. Today was not one of my normal stream days, but I had a little bit of extra time, so I was like, might as well get it in. And we got a lot of progress. I hope to be done with this flashcard part of the game, at least the first demo start, by this week. If I continue the kind of path I'm going, I think I'll be looking pretty good if we just keep working a little bit every day on this part. But what we're gonna do... page name. What we'll do, we're gonna get our page title. Dot value. Is it not called value anymore? W stream. Oh yeah. What is, oh, it's called text. That's why. So it should just be empty on start for now. Unless we change that. Which we probably are gonna change it. Cool, okay. So, yeah, so we're gonna have that. So basically this is gonna spawn in, we're gonna spawn in 100 of those guys. So we're gonna do a couple onreadies. What are we gonna call this? Pages. And you know what we didn't do or didn't really think about? We didn't think about, like, grouping. That's kind of tough. Do we want to do grouping for the custom pages? Or do we want to do grouping? I was thinking we're only going to do grouping for the pre-made ones, if that makes sense. So, that's kind of what I'm thinking. But I don't know. Realistically, to be fair, like, we don't really need that yet. I think for the custom ones, it's okay. But I don't know. Grouping is kind of important, I feel like, for flashcard stuff. So we could group it. My only worry with that is we're going to have to, like, have two separate areas for this. But either way, we're still going to need what we're working on, so it doesn't really matter, technically. Also, what is this? Yeah, don't do that. What are we looking for again? Page 1? You know, the fact that we called it page 1 is going to cause us a lot of problems. That's okay. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to spawn that out. Problem is we need to get like the data saving for this. So we're going to use a JSON document. And the reason we use a JSON document is going to be because it's going to be easy for mobile devices to use. Because we could use native to Godot stuff, but if we want this to be kind of more dynamic, we're going to have to do it that way. Yeah. I need to go run some errands once I hit the 2-hour mark. But yeah. Alright, what are we doing? What are we doing, guys? So we need this to shoot out a bunch of these in what location? We need these to shoot out these in this location, which is going to be at onReady variable location for pages, which is technically going to be a V box container equaling this guy. So we're gonna have 100 of these. So we need to do shoot out 100 of these in that location. Because once we have 100 in there, then we should be okay. Because I don't think we're gonna have more than 100 cards. Like, that would be kind of crazy, I think. I think for the first version of the game, I'll just have 100 cards, you know? Because I think eventually we could adjust that. Also, I really hate how we named this page 1. Can we just call this page? Search page, maybe? Search page. I would like it if we did that. And then we're going to save that change. Save that change. Then we're going to go here, and we're going to go here, and we're going to edit that. Search page. And then if we do this, it's going to get mad, but that's okay. Cool. All right, that looks a lot better. All right, then we're gonna go ahead and we just need a little script to make that shoot out. All right, we're just gonna have it basically initiate a new page in a loop for about 100 times, and then we should be okay. But we did change the name. Just gonna be selection page. Alright. Why does it never keep it down there? It's kind of weird. Okay. So, if we hit play, it should like us like that. There we go. So there's 100. I think it looks pretty good. Because you can use the mouse or this thing. I think that looks okay. I don't know why it's so big though. I don't like how when it highlights it's white. That's not good because that just blends in. Like it's okay. It looks like it's even like around it. You know what I mean? That's okay though. So yeah, we're gonna have 100, okay? That's pretty good. I don't have a back button page. Also, look at that. That's so messed up. That's okay, that's okay. That's messed up. We need to fix that. Okay, let's go ahead. Button back. Let's adjust that real quick. Nice, okay. All right, so we're good there. I don't know why that doesn't work though. Well, like I said though, the thing is with that is we need to have grouping for our cards. So I don't know. We don't need grouping for our cards. We're gonna have grouping for the custom ones. But I guess it depends. Need to go pretty soon, that's okay. I need to use the bathroom. Hold on, where are my peeps? Yeah, I feel like I need to get better at my timing because I feel like most people are getting mad at me for changing my times up, but I'm just trying to get it in, guys. Join the Discord, then you'll hear when I announce things. But yeah, that looks good. I want the back button to work correctly though. Well, to be fair, we're probably gonna need a navigation button for this. The cards page. Then we can add the navigation. Because what we have is when the selection page is on, then we can actually select the things we want to do. So, custom card sets, for instance. We're going to connect that there. Then we'll do an add-on ready. Is it called select page? Yeah, it is. Select page. Just node 2D. Then we're going to equal that to the select page. Okay. Then we're going to have another one. And that's going to be for custom sets page. All right. Custom sets button, no. What? This one, that's what it is. Cool, okay. And when this button is clicked, this one's false. Dot visible. Equals false. Custom sets page. Dot visible equals true. Okay, good. Then for the back button, we will also do the same thing. We're gonna have a lot of back buttons. So back button, custom sets. think it is cards page, yeah. Okay. Then we're gonna reverse it. Perfect, okay. That'll clean up the navigation. Okay. Perfect, okay. I like it. It looks clean. I don't like how this bar is so, like, I can't tell if it's outer whiting it or it's just the bar getting white, but that looks silly. We need to not do that. Here we go. Yeah, when it's selected, it looks way too bright. I thought we did change this. Scroll, grabber. I think it was the focus one, right? I want it to match pretty much this color, but a little bit brighter. Do we grabber? Yeah. But we'll make it a little bit brighter. Okay. All right, custom cards. There we go. That's, well, still, it like, I get how it like highlights, but when I click it, that's when it gets really weird. I don't get why, because that's okay. I want it to just stay like that. I want it to match this color. What is that? Oh, grabber pressed. Okay, that makes sense. So let's change that to this. Nice. Okay. Now with that, it should be okay. Perfect. That's okay. See, that's what I like. It's a little too, like, I can't see it actually. I think it's a little too bright. We'll go down a little bit more. I think with that we should be okay. There we go. That looks good. Changes slightly. Perfect. I don't know if I love this page, but what I'm saying though is once we get to custom cards, it's like we should have a page for grouping and then all cards, if that makes sense. Because you can search through, like right now you can search through individual cards, which I think is fine, but I'm pretty sure people will have complaints about that they don't have groups of cards, you know? I don't know, I'll experiment with that idea, because we could do the same thing here, except it like gives you all the cards in the group. But that's a whole nother thing to figure out, like how many cards in a group do we want to allow? Do we want to allow 100 cards per group? That kind of defeats the purpose of having the 100 card limit. So it's like, how many sets do we want to have, you know? All right, though, but I think we're going to wrap it up. We hit our 2-hour mark, but looks like things are looking pretty good, though. I think in the next couple sessions, like I said, we're going to finish up making the cards part. This is probably going to be one of the hardest parts of making this game, I'd say. It's going to be a little boring, though, because, of course, we're not making actual game stuff. We're doing mostly UI adjustments, color theming, and just other, like, slice of life stuff, you know? But nothing crazy. But yeah, thanks for everybody joining. I will catch you guys later.